Hello. On the third lecture, we will talk about topical maps and the 5 concepts that make a topical map a real topical map. To be honest, as I said before too, over the 2 years, whoever talk about topical maps, nearly all of them are actually wrong, because since I invented the concept, I can tell that when we create a topical map, you will realize that it's really different, because most people actually create a concept map while imitating what appears on the SERP. In a topical maps, usually we change the perception of the search engines. And if some certain type of people allow me, I will be able to show more recordings from my one-on-one trainings and also more projects as well. So in my framework, this is the raw topical map. This is the process with the macro context and certain types of title tag writing methodologies. Information tree is here. Summarization and context on topical terms or the entries are here. Image URL and image alt tag are for expansion of the relevance further with some synonym phrases. And here we have the publication date, which is for creating momentum. So as you know, if you followed my YouTube videos, I always tell that there are 3 main principles here. One is actually vastness, depth, and momentum. You will need to go wide, you will need to go deeper, and you will need to go faster. Basically, if you are not able to go wider, you will need to even go way much more deeper or way much more faster. These 3 things are fundamental when it comes to the semantic SEO. So we will need to create a wide topical map. While connecting everything to each other, we will need to go deeper for a specific attribute and the context. Then we will need to publish more on that specific context for all the entities from the same type. If you look at the raw topical map, you will realize that it is always an entity and the attribute paired. Entity Germany, entity Germany, entity Germany. And here we have the attributes, religion, let's say, and the climate, and the politics, and the, let's say, geography, and the crime rate, and it goes like that. So when it comes to all these things here, we usually choose certain types of attributes. What you should understand, one more thing here is, not every section of topical map has to be quality, and not every section really matters. That's why in my topical maps, I always have 2 parts or the 2 segments. One is author section, which this section is the author section, and the other one is the core section. So when you determine this core section and the author section, you will realize that the core section is actually for going deeper based on a specific type of attribute. And that attribute here is basically the visa. That's why we go deeper here by processing all of the visa types: D-type visa, C-type visa, touristic visa, family visit or reunification visa, work permit, job seeking, immigrations, embassies, consulates, citizenship or residentship, or lover visa, language learning visa, and many different types of visas. They all appear here. But if you look at the author section, it's flat. We don't talk about every type of climate or every type of politics or every type of geography. When we talk about Germany crime rate, we don't go for also sexual crimes, corruptions, or political crimes, or street crimes. When we talk about the singers, we don't go to the rock stars, pop stars, or other types of music genres. Cinema or celebrities is same here too. When we say culture, it's not going further too. So the sections, the tabs that you see here, all these things are one different article or one different web page, and there is a certain type of brief, content brief inside these things. The topical map notes that we are creating, any one of these things is coming to the one of these things in this area. And to be able to start your topical map, you will need to choose a central entity. For instance, here we have a central entity, and in this central entity, it will be appearing in all of the topical map and all of the semantic content network. Then you will need to choose a source context, basically who you are, how you make money, what is your brand identity. In my YouTube channel for the free and the pre-training, I processed this already. So if you didn't watch it, probably the source context concept might be a little bit foreign for you, but if you watch these and listen to these things, you will learn it. But basically, if you want to process the topic or the entity of Germany, and if you have a website as a military history website or politician website or a different type of website, let's say, the article or the web page or the macro context will be changing. As helpful content update says too, the website has to have a primary focus, and you will need to make sense, and you will need to create a logical contextual bridge between you and between that specific entity. And here we have this specific central entity, which will be appearing in all of the topical map and all of the content network. Now we have a source context, which is about visa consultancy mainly. Then, when you unite your central entity with your source context, you will be getting actually your core section of the topical map, which is Germany visa. But there is one more concept here that we will need to learn before going further, and it is central search intent. And we will see it in the next lecture. Thank you.